The late afternoon
I'll be
sun
back
cast long
soon.
shadows across the hardwood floors of the
take
Tribeca
care.
loft, turning everything golden. Maya Chen stood at the floor-to-ceiling windows, one hand resting on the swell of her belly, watching the city pulse with life 8 stories below. At 32 weeks pregnant, she felt like a ship at full sail, magnificent, unwieldy, and utterly vulnerable. "Babe, have you seen my passport?" David Sterling's voice carried from the bedroom, followed by the sound of drawers opening and closing. Maya turned slowly, her bare feet silent on the cool floor. Her husband of 4 years emerged, running a hand through his dark hair, his expression distracted. "Kitchen counter," she said softly. "Next to your laptop. You're a lifesaver." He crossed the open space in quick strides, moving with the restless energy that had first attracted her to him. At 38, David had the kind of confidence that filled a room: venture capitalist, tech entrepreneur, the man who'd built Sterling Innovations from nothing into a $50 million company. He found the passport and slipped it into his leather messenger bag. Maya watched him, that small kernel of unease in her chest growing heavier. "I still don't understand why this meeting can't wait 2 more weeks," she said, keeping her voice neutral. "Dr. Rodriguez said the baby could come any time now." David looked up, and for a moment, his expression softened. He crossed to her, wrapping his arms around her from behind, his hands covering hers on her belly. His cologne, something expensive and woody, enveloped her. "It's just 3 days, Maya. 4 at most." His breath was warm against her ear. "The investors from Singapore are only in Bali this week. If I don't close this deal now, we lose the funding for the expansion. This is for us, for our family." He pressed a kiss to her neck, and despite everything, Maya felt herself lean into him. This was the David she'd fallen in love with, ambitious, driven, but tender when it mattered. The David who'd proposed to her on the Brooklyn Bridge at sunrise, who'd surprised her with flowers every Friday, who'd cried when she'd shown him the positive pregnancy test. "Promise me you'll be back before she comes," Maya whispered. "I promise." He turned her gently to face him, his hazel eyes meeting hers. "My phone will be on 24/7. The jet is ready. One call, and I'm on my way home. You and baby girl are my whole world." He kissed her then, deep and slow, his hands cradling her face. It was the kind of kiss that made her forget her doubts, that reminded her why she'd built her life around this man. When he pulled away, she managed a smile. "Okay. Go close your deal." 20 minutes later, the door clicked shut behind him. The silence that rushed in felt different somehow, heavier, more permanent. Maya returned to the window, watching the street below until she saw David emerge, climb into the waiting black car, and disappear into traffic. She stood there for a long moment, her architect's mind, trained to notice details, to see structural weaknesses, wouldn't quiet. Something felt wrong. Moving slowly, Maya retrieved her laptop from the dining table. Her fingers hesitated over the keyboard before she typed in the name of the private aviation company David used. She'd helped him organize flights before, she knew his account login. The flight plan loaded on the screen. Destination, Santorini, Greece. Not Bali. Not Indonesia. Santorini. The room tilted. Maya gripped the edge of the table, her breath coming in short gasps. Bali and Santorini weren't even on the same continent. This wasn't a mistake or a last-minute change. This was a deliberate, calculated lie. Her phone buzzed on the table. A notification from Instagram. Vanessa Cole had posted to her story. Vanessa. David's assistant. 26, blonde, efficient, with a smile that never quite reached her eyes. Maya had always felt uncomfortable around her, but she'd chalked it up to pregnancy hormones and insecurity. Her hands shaking, Maya opened the app. The image loaded, a view from a hotel terrace, white buildings cascading down a cliff toward impossibly blue water. The iconic caldera of Santorini. Posted 15 minutes ago. The caption read, "Finally made it to Paradise Sparkles Sunrise." Maya's vision blurred. She barely registered the sharp, twisting pain that shot through her lower back until it wrapped around her abdomen like a vice. The laptop slid from her lap as she doubled over, gasping. Not now. Please, not now. But her body had made its decision. Her daughter was coming. And her husband was sipping cocktails in Santorini with another woman, wrapped in lies as white as the Greek islands themselves. Rachel Kim burst through the door 15 minutes after Maya's frantic call, her dark hair wild from running. I'm here," she panted, immediately dropping to her knees beside her best friend, who was breathing through another contraction on the living room floor. "He lied, Rach," Maya gasped between breaths. "Santorini. He's in Santorini with Vanessa." "I know, honey. I know. We'll deal with him later." Rachel's voice was steel wrapped in velvet. "Right now, we're getting you to the hospital." The taxi ride to Mount Sinai was a blur of pain and rage. Maya clutched her phone, watching the screen light up with her outgoing calls. David's number. Ring, ring, ring. Voicemail. Again. Ring, ring, ring. Voicemail. 12 times, Rachel muttered, counting. That bastard. In the delivery room, under harsh fluorescent lights, Maya's world narrowed to the rhythm of contractions. The nurse, a kind woman named Gloria, held her hand. "Your husband on his way?" she asked gently. Maya's laugh was bitter. "He's in Greece." Gloria's eyebrows rose, but she said nothing, just squeezed Maya's hand tighter. Hours crawled by. The pain intensified, each wave crashing harder than the last. Maya's body was splitting apart, and through it all, she kept checking her phone. Finally, a text arrived. "Hey babe. Just landed in Bali. Crazy turbulence. Meetings start in an hour. How are you feeling? Miss you already, red heart." Rachel read it over Maya's shoulder and actually snarled. He's doubling down. He's actually doubling down on the lie. Maya stared at the message, at the casual ease of his deception. The heart emoji felt like a slap. She typed back with trembling fingers, "I'm in labor. Mount Sinai. Room 412. 3 minutes passed. Then, what? Already? Okay, let me see if I can catch an earlier flight. Hang in there. Let me see if I can," Rachel read aloud, her voice dripping venom. "Not, I'm coming right now. Not, I'll charter a jet. Let me see." Another contraction seized Maya, and she screamed. Through the haze of pain, she made a decision. She opened Instagram, navigated to Vanessa's profile with shaking hands, and started recording the screen. The Santorini posts. The timestamps. Everything. "What are you doing?" Rachel asked. "Collecting evidence," Maya gritted out. "If he wants to play games, I'll play to win." Her phone rang. David's face appeared on the screen, a photo from their honeymoon, both of them laughing on a beach in Thailand. A lifetime ago. Rachel grabbed the phone. "I've got this." She answered on speaker. David's voice came through, smooth and concerned. "Maya? Baby? I'm so sorry. I'm looking at flights now. The earliest I can get out is tomorrow morning, but..." "Where are you, David?" Rachel cut him off, her voice ice cold. A pause. "Rachel? I'm in Bali." I told Maya. "Try again." "I don't know what." "Santorini, David. You're in Santorini. With Vanessa. And Maya is in active labor while you're sipping ouzo and playing tourist with your assistant." The silence on the other end was deafening. "I can explain," he started. Maya found her voice, raw but strong. Don't. Just don't. I'm about to bring our daughter into this world, and you're not here. You chose not to be here. You chose her. Maya, please, it's not. She ended the call. The contractions came faster now, relentless. Dr. Rodriguez arrived, checked her progress, and gave her a gentle smile. You're almost there, Maya. Just a little longer. Rachel held one hand, Gloria held the other. Around midnight, as a storm rolled over Manhattan, Maya pushed with everything she had, all her pain, betrayal, rage, and love channeled into bringing her daughter into the world. And then, a cry. Piercing and perfect. It's a girl, Dr. Rodriguez announced, placing the tiny, squirming baby on Maya's chest. Maya looked down at her daughter's scrunched face, her impossibly small fingers, and felt something crack open in her chest. Love, fierce and primal, flooded through her. Hi, Lily, she whispered, tears streaming down her face. I'm your mama. And I'm going to protect you from everything. I promise. Her phone buzzed with another text from David. She didn't even look at it. Morning light filtered through the hospital blinds, soft and golden. Maya sat propped against pillows, baby Lily sleeping in her arms, a tiny miracle wrapped in pink hospital blankets. Every part of Maya's body ached, but she'd never felt more awake, more present, more certain of anything in her life. Rachel dozed in the chair beside her, phone still clutched in her hand. She'd stayed all night, documenting everything with the precision of a war correspondent. Photos. Timestamps. Screenshots. A digital paper trail of abandonment. Maya's phone buzzed. A video call from David. She let it ring twice before answering, propping the phone on the bedside table so he could see her and the baby. David's face filled the screen, and Maya's breath caught. He was on a balcony somewhere, the Aegean Sea sparkling behind him. He'd clearly just woken up, his hair disheveled, wearing a white linen shirt she'd never seen before. The golden hour light of a Greek morning made him look like something from a travel magazine. Oh my God, Maya, he breathed, his eyes welling up. She's here. Our baby girl is here. Yes, Maya said, her voice flat. She arrived at 12:47 a.m. Weighed 7 pounds, 3 ounces. 20 inches long. Perfect APGAR scores. She's beautiful. You're beautiful. I'm so sorry I wasn't there. The flights. David. Maya cut him off. Where are you right now? Tell me exactly where you are. His eyes flickered. I told you, I'm in Bali. Stop. Just stop. Maya adjusted the phone so he could see the view behind him more clearly. I can see the Mediterranean. I can see the white buildings. I pulled your flight records. I saw Vanessa's Instagram posts. I know you're in Santorini. The color drained from his face. For a moment, he said nothing, just stared at the screen like a man watching his empire crumble. It's not what you think, he finally said, but his voice had lost its usual confidence. Really? Maya's laugh was sharp. Then tell me what it is. Explain to me why you lied about going to Bali. Explain why you're in one of the most romantic destinations in the world with your 26-year-old assistant while your wife gave birth alone. I wasn't alone, he said weakly. You had Rachel. Don't you dare. Maya's voice cracked like a whip. Don't you dare make excuses. You missed the birth of your daughter because you were on vacation with another woman. Just say it. Be honest for once. David ran a hand through his hair, and Maya saw something she'd never seen before, guilt. Raw, undeniable guilt. Maya, please. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. But I love you. I love our family. Let me come home and we can work through this. Work through this? Maya repeated softly. She looked down at Lily, at her perfect sleeping face, and felt a clarity settle over her like armor. You broke something, David. Something that can't be fixed with flowers and apologies and promises. Don't say that. We can fix this. I'll cut the trip short. I'll be home tonight. No. The word came out steady, final. Don't come to the hospital. Don't come to the apartment. I don't want to see you. His eyes widened. Maya, you're being irrational. You just gave birth. Your hormones. Don't. Rachel's voice cut through the room. She'd woken up and moved closer to the phone. Don't you dare blame this on hormones, you piece of. I want a divorce, Maya said clearly. I'm filing this week. David's face crumpled. No. No, Maya, please. Think about Lily. Think about our family. I am thinking about her, Maya interrupted. I'm thinking that she deserves a mother who doesn't accept being treated like she's disposable. She deserves to see what real strength looks like. Maya. She ended the call. For a long moment, she sat in silence, holding her daughter, feeling the weight of her decision settle into her bones. Rachel's hand found hers. You okay? Maya looked up, and to her surprise, she smiled. Yeah. I actually am. 3 days later, Maya stood in her loft, no longer seeing it as home. Just a space she needed to escape. Lily slept in a bassinet Rachel had set up, and the apartment was full of people. Maya's parents had flown in from San Francisco, her brother was assembling a crib, and Rachel was on her laptop at the dining table, working with focused intensity. Okay, so I've compiled everything, Rachel announced, turning the screen toward Maya. Flight records showing he went to Santorini, not Bali. Hotel reservation at the Canave's OIA Suites, honeymoon suite, by the way, booked for 4 nights. Credit card statements showing couples spa treatments, romantic dinners. And Vanessa's Instagram is a goldmine. She tagged the location in half her posts. Maya's mother, Linda, appeared with a cup of tea. Drink this, sweetheart. You need to keep your strength up. I'm fine, Mom. You're not fine. You just had a baby and your husband, Linda's voice broke. I never liked him. I should have said something. Mom. Maya squeezed her hand. This isn't your fault. The doorbell rang. Maya's father, James, answered it. A sharp-dressed woman in her 50s entered, carrying a leather briefcase. Patricia Moore, the divorce attorney Rachel had found, known as the Shark in Manhattan legal circles. Patricia got straight to business. Mrs. Sterling, I've reviewed the evidence your friend sent over. We have an excellent case for both divorce and full custody. Full custody? Maya repeated. He abandoned you during childbirth to be with his mistress. Any judge will see that as demonstrating profoundly poor judgment and priorities. Patricia pulled out documents. New York is an equitable distribution state. You're entitled to half of all marital assets. That includes his company shares, the apartment, investments, everything. Maya felt dizzy. I don't want to destroy him. I just want to be free. With all due respect, Mrs. Sterling, he destroyed himself. Patricia's voice softened slightly. My job is to make sure you and your daughter are protected. That's all. Over the next hour, Patricia walked her through the process. Temporary custody arrangements. Financial disclosures. Property division. Maya signed papers until her hand cramped. Her phone had been buzzing constantly. David had called 47 times, sent over 100 texts ranging from desperate apologies to angry accusations. Vanessa had called too, crying, saying it wasn't what Maya thought. Maya had blocked them both. There's one more thing, Rachel said hesitantly. I did some more digging. This isn't the first time. Maya looked up. What? He's done this before. Different assistant, 2 years ago. A woman named Jennifer Park. She left the company suddenly, generous severance package. I found her on LinkedIn and messaged her. She's willing to talk. The room spun. Maya sat down heavily. 2 years ago, she'd been trying to get pregnant, going through fertility treatments, crying every month when her period came. And David had been. I'm going to be sick, she whispered. Linda was beside her instantly. Breathe, sweetheart. Just breathe. But Maya wasn't sick. She was angry. A pure, white-hot anger that burned away the last remnants of doubt. Patricia, she said, her voice steady. I want everything. The apartment, full custody, half the company. I want him to understand what he threw away. Patricia smiled. It wasn't a kind smile. Now we're talking. Let's get to work. 2 weeks later, David stood in the doorway of what used to be his apartment, looking shell-shocked. The locks had been changed. His belongings sat in neat boxes in the hallway, clothes, his laptop, toiletries, his collection of rare whiskeys. Everything that marked his presence, erased. Maya faced him across the threshold, Lily asleep in a carrier against her chest. She'd lost most of the pregnancy weight already, running on rage and adrenaline and the fierce protectiveness of new motherhood. Maya, please, David said, and he looked terrible, unshaven, dark circles under his eyes. Can we just talk? She handed him an envelope. You've been served. Divorce papers and temporary custody order. You get supervised visitation with Lily once she's 3 months old. Until then, no contact. This is insane. She's my daughter. You weren't interested in being her father when you were in Greece with your girlfriend. Maya's voice was ice. It wasn't, Vanessa and I aren't, it was a mistake. One stupid mistake. 2, Maya corrected. Jennifer Park. 2 years ago. Your previous assistant. Want to try telling me that was a mistake too? David's face went pale. How did you? It doesn't matter how. What matters is that I'm done. I'm done believing your lies, done making excuses, done being the understanding wife. She paused. The board at Sterling Innovations received an interesting email this morning. From me. With evidence. You didn't. Oh, I did. Turns out they don't appreciate their CEO using company resources, the private jet, company credit cards, for extramarital affairs. Plural. You have a meeting with them Monday morning. David's hands clenched into fists. You're destroying my company. Our company. Everything I built. Everything we built, Maya corrected. While you were out conquering the tech world, who do you think was handling the home, supporting you through every crisis, networking with investors' wives, making sure you looked like a family man? I wasn't just your wife. I was your partner. And you threw me away like I meant nothing. That's not true. I love you. No. Maya shook her head. You loved having me. You loved what I represented, the successful, beautiful wife, the perfect home, the image. But you didn't love me enough to be faithful. You didn't love me enough to be there when our daughter was born. Lily stirred against her chest, making small sounds. Maya's hand automatically moved to soothe her, and something in David's face crumbled. Can I at least see her? He whispered. Maya stepped back. Read the custody order. You'll get your chance. But not today. She closed the door in his face and locked it. Inside, the apartment felt different. Lighter. Rachel emerged from the bedroom, having listened to everything. You okay? She asked. Maya looked around, at the space she'd filled with so much hope, so many dreams. Then she looked down at Lily, who was blinking up at her with dark, curious eyes. "I'm better than okay," she said softly. "I'm free." A week later, Maya stood in her new apartment in Brooklyn, smaller than the Tribeca loft but hers, truly hers. Floor-to-ceiling windows looked out over Prospect Park. She'd already set up her drafting table, ready to restart the architecture practice she'd put on hold when she married David. Lily lay on a play mat, waving her tiny hands at hanging toys. Maya watched her daughter, this perfect little person who would grow up seeing her mother as someone who didn't settle, who chose herself, who understood that love without respect was nothing at all. Her phone buzzed. A message from Patricia, settlement offer from David's lawyers. He's willing to negotiate. They're scared. Maya smiled and typed back, "No negotiations. Full terms or we go to trial." She set the phone down and picked up Lily, walking to the window. The sun was setting over the park, painting the sky in shades of amber and rose gold. "You know what, baby girl?" Maya whispered against Lily's soft hair. "Your dad thought he was going to paradise. But this, you and me, starting over, building something real, this is what paradise actually looks like." Lily cooed, her small hand wrapping around Maya's finger. And for the first time in weeks, Maya felt something settle in her chest. Not happiness, not yet. But hope. And that was enough. The sun dipped below the horizon, and Maya didn't look back.